Welcome to the Bald Brad Show. Our first segment of the day is a clip from Tucker Carlson's show on Fox News with residents praising Donald Trump for showing up to East Palestine, where you had that train derailment. All the while, Joe Biden's in Ukraine taking care of them, while Trump is taking care of Americans, as he should be. As always, support the show by hitting that like and subscribe button. Leave us a short, sweet comment down below. Your help support will be greatly appreciated. Let's go ahead and roll it.
John Rourke with Blue Line Moving joins us right now. John, thanks so much for coming on. What did you see there? I'm embarrassed to say we have not been there, but what was your impression of what's happening in East Palestine?
My impression, Tucker, thanks for having me on, is that the folks there are a whole lot more motivated than they were at this time yesterday, and that's a fact. The fact that President Biden has refused to come to this small town when he's supposed to be Scranton Joe, a small town hero of the working man, and he can't even show his face in a town of American citizens that need his leadership, that need the government's help terribly. And he proved what everybody, I think, already knew in this country, is that he's not the leader for this country, and that Donald J. Trump is the leader that we all know he is, and he is the leader of this country. And he proved that today. That was leadership that I saw today. I saw people standing on the streets screaming for this man, chanting USA, USA. I mean, it just gives me goosebumps. And to have President Trump personally thank me, it almost brought me to tears, man, to be honest. I'm just a humble guy. I'm a working man, family man. And to be able to, have someone like him thank me personally was a big deal for me and my family.
This is the thing. Trump puts Americans first. Republicans put Americans first. Democrats put Americans last. You see that from immigration to all the way to Ukraine. Why is Joe Biden not there like you see Trump on the screen doing the exact same thing? Because they don't care about Americans. They'll preach that they do, but they don't. Now, we got to give a little bit of credit to Joe Biden. There is the environmental protection there. There are boots on the ground. But here's the thing. The Biden administration does not understand PR. Donald Trump does. The image is there. Him sending food to them is there. Him trying to solve certain things for them is there. Just his presence shows that he's putting Americans first. This is a big miss by the Biden administration. This was a shoo-in. Pete Buttigieg was nowhere to be found. He finally did show up days and days later. Way too late. They already missed the mark. Donald Trump beat him to this. Donald Trump is going to increase in the polls just from this visit here. But let's continue.
It was. So really, just kind of big picture for one second, since you were there. 2015, Trump emerges out of nowhere, then he becomes the nominee, and the media starts saying, wait, there are a lot of forgotten people in forgotten towns that built this country, people who were born here and have been completely ignored. Maybe we should pay some attention to these people who were dying younger than the rest of us. I don't think that ever happened. Did the people of East Palestine, who you spoke to, feel like anyone was paying attention to them in power?
Nope. Absolutely not. I mean, these people need help. Okay, well, we're putting illegal aliens in hotels and five-star accommodations in New York City, and the people of East Palestine.
How often have we said this? Thank you, John, for literally reiterating what we've been talking about for 2 freaking years, that the Democrat Party is willing to take care of others, Ukrainians, illegal immigrants, before our veterans, before Americans. Put them up in hotel rooms, nice, lovely hotel rooms, while our vets are sleeping on the streets. Illegal immigrants are just everywhere and they get catered to. Hell, we literally did a story in New York City where Mayor Eric Adams is providing camps for these illegal immigrants where they get 3-course meal, a revolving menu that's catered to their liking, literally to their culture. They also get Xboxes, plasma TVs, bedding, laundry services. But no, our vets are going to sleep in the streets. We can't even get Joe Biden to show up to a local town in the United States, but he's going to sit there and take care of everybody else around the world other than his own people. That's the Democrat Party for you, folks. That right there, that man, number 45, wearing that hat, Make America Great Again, is for the American people. I don't give a crap the stuff that comes out of his mouth half the time, because I care about his actions and what he does. And this man showed up and he paid for people's food. He bought McDonald's. I don't care if anybody's ripping on McDonald's. It's still food. He bought it for first responders. Where's Joe Biden at? Where's Joe, folks? We're always asking this question. Where's Joe? Where's Joe at the border? Where's Joe in Ohio? Where's Joe in Southwest was having their issues? Where's Joe anywhere other than nap time or freaking sucking off Zelensky in Ukraine? And sorry for the rated R thing there, but it's so frustrating. I'm so tired of people taking care of everybody else than taking care of our ish here first. Let's take care of Americans first, folks. Am I not right? Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Let's continue.
Can't even get a real hotel to stay in for a significant amount of time, or some real money that they can actually go maybe and get their own VRBO or something like that, somewhere where they can actually take a month and get away from the town and get away from breathing in that nasty air and having to see hundreds of workers. Every river, every tributary has hoses in it and aerators in it, and they're spraying water into these rivers, and who knows where the water's coming from. People don't have any idea what the hell is going on in their town right now in East Palestine. They have no idea, and that's because of people like Pete Buttigieg and Joe Biden. They literally have no idea what they're doing, and that's why they're not there, because someone will call them out, and that's what they're afraid of.
Yeah.
Damn right, man. I mean, dude, preach it, brother, because you're nailing it. Everything you said was perfect, and it was spot on right there. They're not anywhere to be found, and that's why Joe Biden doesn't do press briefings. That's why Joe Biden doesn't take unvetted questions, because he's going to be called out, and he's going to be shellacked. So you know who Joe Biden has up front? This lady right here, and this moves us into our second segment of the day. The rest of today's coverage is going to be based on the White House press briefing, because it is astonishing to watch her spin and manipulate this whole thing that's going on in Ohio, in East Palestine, of where's the president? And that's everybody's questions here. It's literally everybody's trying to wrap their head around this of, why is Joe Biden not showing up? He'll show up for a funeral of a guy that was beaten to death by a lot of cops. You know, he'll show up to that when it fits the narrative, but when it actually fits the narrative, taking care of Americans and making sure that they're okay and that everything is going perfectly fine and have a nice PR moment for yourself, he's nowhere to be found. Well, here's a kickoff here from the Associated Press asking her that very same thing of, basically, is Joe Biden happy with the way he's handled everything? Go ahead and roll it.
Thanks, Kareem. Starting with East Palestine, is the president satisfied with the pace of the federal response there on the ground, and why has he so far decided not to visit?
So a couple of things there, and I said this at the top. The president, first of all, when the derailment happened on February 3rd, as I said at the top, the Environmental Protection Agency was on the ground within hours, and that is, I think I've mentioned 2 a.m. the next morning on February 4th, really taking charge and dealing with what was occurring in East Palestine. And look, very early on as well, the president reached out to both governors of Pennsylvania and Ohio, that is Governor DeWayne of Ohio and Governor Shapiro as well. And he offered the federal assistance and also directed his team to stay on top of this as long as it took. And just a couple of days ago, we read out a conversation that the president, he's been getting briefed pretty regularly, but just recently we read out conversations that he had with Governor DeWine, Governor Shapiro, Senator Brown, EPA Administrator Regan, and Congressman Johnson while he was in Poland. So he was still working and getting updates and.
You guys, you got to love that messaging right there. Well, he was getting updates while he was in Poland. Oh, goody. Oh, goody. So glad that he was in Poland. Again, making sure everybody else is taken care of, making sure that their energy infrastructure is taken care of. That's literally one of the reasons why he was there, to make sure he can help them out with their energy. All the while, our grid's freaking all over the place over here. We got Ohio issue going on. We got train derailments happening in other places around the United States. Why are you not here, Joe? Why don't you take care of your own people here? And you got to love that. It just slips off her tongue like it's nothing. Well, he was getting briefed while he was somewhere else, taking care of other people, not Americans. Oh, perfect. I'm also going to give him credit here that the EPA and other people were boots on the ground really quickly. But the thing is, they don't understand the optics of this. They don't understand that he needed to be there. It was a moment. It was a moment for people to see that this guy has our back, and he doesn't. But he'll have Zelensky's back. Oh, he'll have Poland's back, which we should have our NATO allies back. I get it. But right now, he needs to be here. Right now, he needs to be in Ohio, freaking gawking at everything. I understand there's not much going on up here to be processed, but the hell, just him being chauffeured out on the gurney like the puppet he is, like the dead guy he is, at least he's there. Being somewhere else is not a good look.
focusing on what was happening in East Palestine while he was doing incredibly important work, as you all know, in Poland. And he reaffirmed his commitment to make sure they have everything that they need. Again, this has been a multi-agency engagement here. When you think about CDC, you think about DOT, you think about FEMA, you think about EPA, they have all been on the ground, working in lockstep, working with the local officials on the ground, including the governor and the senators as well, making sure that we delivered and continue to deliver for the people of East Palestine. That will not stop, and that will continue until we are needed on the ground.
My question, though, was whether the president was satisfied with that response. Is he?
Yes, he is.
She still can't answer a simple question. I love the fact that Zeke Miller, the Associated Press, follows up with, well, my question was, is he satisfied? I mean, it's literally a yes or no answer. You don't have to give this caca diarrhea mouth that we're always hearing, and that just tells you that they suck at their job and they did it wrong, because you have to give a long, drawn-out answer to a very simple question just so you get the BS in your message out there to try to correct the bad messaging that's been going on, meaning Joe Biden not being there. Simple question, but of course she missed it.
Look, we believe that when you think about how this response occurred, right, how it's been going from literally since 2 a.m. February 4th, you've seen the EPA on the ground. You saw Administrator.
It's February 24th. He still hasn't been there. Hasn't been there. Nope. But again, Ukraine, he'll be there. Poland, he'll be there. But he won't go to the southern border again. No. He won't go to Ohio. Nope. He won't make sure our ranchers at the border are okay, or our border states. Nope. He won't go there. He'll stay in the White House, in the bunker, in the basement, just like he did during his campaign, and not take care of the American people. Typical.
Regan doing a great job on the ground, making sure that he was with the community, taking questions, working with the governor. You've heard from the governor directly, Governor DeWine, actually speak to the federal response, that he truly appreciated the work that we have done for the community. So yes, the president is certainly is again staying updated on what is occurring on the ground, but also appreciative of the work that his multi-agencies have been doing over the past several weeks.
My question is that, and maybe some of you can answer in the live chat in the comments below. My question is that, would these have agencies showed up anyways without Joe Biden's involvement? Do you know what I mean? Would they have shown up? Get what I'm saying? Like, he didn't have to call them and be like, hey, make sure you guys are there in a couple hours. Would they just sort of respond naturally as they would have, as being their own separate agency to do their own separate thing as they were put in place to do? If that makes sense, let me know in the comment section below. But it doesn't stop there, folks. The press are confused here. They're asking more questions and trying to get more details of, why is the president not showing up? Really, what is going on? And watch this knucklehead try to answer questions of which she's not prepared to answer.
Thanks, Karine. The mayor of East Palestine said that it was a slap in the face that the president had gone to Ukraine before he went to East Palestine. Does the president have any reaction to those comments?
Look, I'll say this. And I kind of said this at the top already, which is, I laid.
There she goes. Flip it through that binder, you guys. You all see it. She doesn't know. Go to the line. Find it. Oh, I'm going to be clear. Oh, at the top of the brief. So let's go reiterate. Let's read straight from the binder. Let's watch it happen in real time, folks.
Out what we have done since the derailment of February 3rd, and how we were on the ground very early on. And we believe that we have had a all of government, all hands approach to this, not just with the agencies, but also with the different teams here in the White House. You think about the Intergovernmental Affairs, you think about Office of Leg Affairs, and also the National Security Council have been all hands on deck. And that is because of this president's leadership. And that is because of what he has asked his team to do and what he has asked the agencies to do. So look, we're going to hold Norfolk Southern accountable, as I've mentioned. They've been investigating what caused the derailment, monitoring for environmental and health impacts, and screening over 550 homes, as I mentioned. EPA has ordered the railroad company to clean up its mess and pay for all expenses. And if it doesn't, the EPA said that they will make the company pay 3 times more. And Secretary Buttigieg has also written to Norfolk Southern to make clear that the industry's pattern of resisting safety regulations must change.
Hey, I'm just looking for, what the hell is she talking about? What is she talking about? Why is she rambling? She makes her job way harder than it needs to be. Way harder. Stop talking, Karine. Just stop talking. Just give a simple response.
He's calling on the industry and Congress to join the administration in implementing that approach. So look.
Did she literally just flip the page to continue the script? Did she literally just flip the page to continue reading the script? Oh my God. Wait, I'm going to back it up 5 seconds because I might have missed it, but I swear she just flipped the page to read directly from the next one.
Implementing that approach. So look, and as you all know, as I mentioned, Secretary Buttigieg is on the ground right now. He's getting an update, and we've
20 days later, he's on the ground, folks. Rest assured, Pete Buttigieg is there. Like anybody cares. The guy should have been there from day one. That's his job. Just like it is Joe Biden's job somewhat, but more of, again, a PR move to just be there. But no, again, like I keep reiterating, Zelensky will be there taking care of him, making sure he gets a nice back massage and a nice nap time over there. And then in Poland as well.
Had, again, multiple agencies on the ground. The president has stayed updated on this for the past several weeks. While he was in Poland, he spoke to the important folks on the ground, the leadership on the ground, including his leadership in those respective agencies on what was going on. It's really unbelievable, you guys. And he will continue to do that and do everything that we can.
Has the president spoken to the mayor of East Palestine? Does he have any plans?
I don't have a call to read out or a planned conversation. I can tell you, as I mentioned before, the president.
So she just continues to ramble, you guys. That's all she does. I don't have a readout. What that really means is I don't have it in my binder, so I don't know. I have no idea. I just read what I'm told to read because I don't have one of these that actually, make this work properly. And, again, I've always said it. I feel like Joe Biden's dementia is really just rubbing off. It's contagious. You sneeze in front of anybody, meaning Joe Biden sneezing, it's just everybody's now infected and nobody's brain works in the White House, which is why we're in the debacle that we're in. From foreign affairs, meaning China-Taiwan issues, China wanting to give Russia munitions. You got Russia invading Ukraine. You got the gas prices issue, illegal immigration issue. You got now the Ohio issue. You got your transportation secretary not showing up. I mean, you literally, we said this time and time again, you throw a dart at the board, odds are you're going to hit something that Joe Biden either was the cause of or is just doing something very poorly. Well, again, it continues here, and we got Peter Alexander really asking great questions on this whole, where's Joe Biden? Is he satisfied? What's going on? So it continues here. And then after him, we have CNN asking great questions as well. Again, we always hound these leftist news outlets, but you guys, these aren't the same people in the room that were under when Trump was in his administration. So we got to kind of pull back here and go, look, there's a new generation of reporters that are doing a great job, and I've always spoken up for them, and I will speak out when they don't do a good job. I'll speak out when they do a good job. And that's what we should be doing. Our thinking should be linear here. Some of them ask like terrible questions, but we don't highlight them. The ones that have been doing a good job for the most part, we're going to highlight here. So here's Peter Alexander.
Can I just ask you again, following up on East Palestine, can you, I know you can't say that the president has plans to go there now, but is it in discussion that the president may go there in the near future?
I just don't have anything to share. I know there's a lot of interest on that.
I mean, I guess the question, for folks there, though, at least to say it's in discussion, has it been something that's even under consideration?
I mean, I think what folks should understand and what folks should, I think, feel at ease is that the president has taken this very seriously. Hours after the derailment occurred, you
Help me out. Help me out. How can you take it seriously if you're not there? You're in a whole different country. What? You guys. I know I'm not the only person here. I know I'm not the only one. What the hell? But he's taking it seriously, you guys. Everything he takes seriously. But yeah, everything goes down the drain. Everything just goes right into the dumpster.
Saw, again, the EPA on the ground, and you're seeing a multi-agency reaction to this because the president had promised not just the people of East Palestine, but also to their governors, to their leadership, that we would be on the ground for as long as it takes to make sure that the community has what it needs. And you know, you have seen that. You've seen the administrator on the ground with the governor on the ground.
You know what I've seen? Mr. 45 showed up. What's up, everybody? You guys want some McDonald's? Huh? You want some nice Coca-Cola? The good stuff, the all-American institution. Right? He literally Donald Trump brought pallets of food and water. All the cameras were filming. They were literally lining the streets chanting USA. How many times have we seen Americans line the streets for Donald Trump? Explain to me when you've seen caravans, people lining the streets for Joe Biden. When has Joe Biden sold out arenas and had 20,000 people still standing outside hours before Joe Biden ever showed up? Because I haven't seen it. But somehow he's the most popular president in American history and he can't do anything right. I find it hard to believe.
Seeing them talking to the community. Again, Secretary Pete was just there, again, meeting with the mayor, the mayor there, and continuing to do.
Was Secretary Pete there at the president's direction?
Look, the Secretary Pete went because he believed that it was important for him to go there at this time, and you know, it is. It is.
Time to go. He said he wanted to go at the right time. Was this the right time? Even he today had some reservations about whether he met the right balance.
Look, I think it was important. I think what's important is that he was there. I think what's important is that we saw Secretary of the Department of Transportation.
Here we go back to the binder. Dude, I'm telling you, she can't think on her feet. She can't answer basic things. He screwed up. He should have been there. Even he's admitting, like, yeah, you know, God, I probably should have went way sooner. Yes, you should have. And you could tell her think he's not linear here because she's like basically saying the same thing of, well, now's the time. I'm not going to tell you why now is the time. Why is it now and not earlier? Why not later? Even he's saying he's missed the mark. And you're going to say that he should be there. So should Joe Biden. Everybody's asking, where's Joe? That's a kind of a good signifier of like, get your you-know-what down there ASAP. Get away from Zelensky. Stop giving him billions of dollars and build better infrastructure here on our own railways. But no, they want to give some of our infrastructure money to inclusion, diversity, equity, to curb racism, which isn't even a massive problem at all in the United States. But this is the stuff they want to spend money on.
Transportation there. I do want to say one thing, though, which is there's been a lot of bad faith attacks on Secretary Buttigieg. And the reason why we believe it's bad faith is if you remember Elaine Chao, she was, she was the head of Department of Transportation, and when there was these types of chemical spills, nobody was calling for her to be fired, and nobody was calling for what they're calling on.
Here we go.
Secretary Pete. It is pure politics. It's pure political stunts, what they're doing. You have seen an administration.
It's political, highlighting something where he should have been, and just the continuation of chemical spills, the continuation of rails, derailing of trains, the continuation of airline flights being canceled and not working correctly. No, you're right. There's no reason as to why this guy should be fired. There's no reason whatsoever. And like I've said multiple times here on the Ball Brad Show, if you suck at your job and you're a Democrat, it automatically guarantees you're lined up to run for president. And odds are you'll get it, because look at Joe Biden.
That has, because of the leadership of this president, that's taken action and multi-agency action to deal with the needs that we're seeing on the ground with the community of East Palestine.
I just want to follow up on two other topics.
The community's not happy with Joe Biden, though, lady. And that's why everybody's in here asking you questions about what's going on and where's Joe, because nobody's happy. I mean, it's literally endless loops of residents not happy with Joe. They're all stoked with Trump. Trump's like a hero over there. But no, not in Ohio. Not in Ohio, Joe. Joe's not like there. And I don't think Joe should actually end up showing up because people aren't going to be happy with him. He knows he can get shellacked. Well, here's a new Fox News reporter. I actually don't know her name. We're debuting her. She's been in there before. I've never seen her, and I've been doing this for 2 years. I got to know who this is. I might message somebody that I know in that room that works for Fox News to see who the heck this lady is. If I can get an update, I'll let you guys know. But hey, she's soft-spoken, does a pretty good job. Let's hear her questions.
Okay.
Quick follow-up on Peter's question on Ohio. The president has said many times, in his own words, that he likes to provide comfort to Americans who are grieving, Americans who are in crisis. Has he expressed interest in or the intention to provide that kind of support to East Palestinians? Does he want to provide that support to
Of
them?
course, he's the president of the United States. He's the president for red and blue states. He, of course, wants to provide that support. That's what he's been doing. That's why you've seen the Environmental Protection Agency administrator on the ground. That's why you're seeing Secretary Buttigieg on the ground, providing that support. And not just those two agencies, other agencies as well, making sure that the East Palestine community are getting what they need at this difficult time. And so this is a president that understands what people are going through when they're going through hardships. He understands that personally, and that's why he's getting updates regularly, and that's why he has made sure that we've had
He doesn't understand, you guys. I think he understands to a certain extent, but he doesn't understand what's really going on because he's not there. I mean, it's all over the news. You have Republican or conservative outlets, right-wing outlets like Fox News talking about it. You have the entire press room asking her questions about this. So it's also left-wing outlets as well going, where is the guy? So you don't understand this. You can't take it that serious if you're not willing to show up, but you're in another country. And she actually answered the first part really well, but if she would just stop talking, it would have actually been a really good response. No, he really does care. He's compassionate. That's why the EPA is there. We're working with all the agencies to provide the help that they need. That's it. You're done. That would be a really good response. But no, she has to continue and just shoot herself in the foot here.
this type of reaction since practically almost day one, hours within the derailment. And so we'll continue to do that. He has said multiple times, I have said multiple times that the president is going to continue to be there for the people, the community of East Palestine, for as long as if it's needed, for as long as it takes.
But does he not want to do it directly in
I think offering the assistance, offering the help is doing it directly. When you're seeing the federal government on the ground providing the assistance that is needed, that is doing it directly. That's doing it. They're doing it on the direction of the president. That multi-agency, what we have been able to do over the past couple of weeks, that is because of the direction of the president. And we have seen that not just for these types of situations, but others as well. Of course, our hearts go out for the people of Palestine and their community, the community, and what they're going through right now. This is why the president continues to be updated every single day, and has called again for not just the agencies, but for the teams here at the White House to make sure that we are working closely with local government and state government to make sure that we are delivering for the community. And not just in Ohio. Remember, there is Pennsylvania as well, who we've been in touch with the governor there as well.
Quick question on...
Lovely. Well, don't forget about Ohio, but we also have Pennsylvania, and it's going all over the other places, in Arizona as well. It's happening in multiple states, but Pete Buttigieg, hey, he shouldn't be fired. He's doing an okay job. He's doing great, and we don't think that it's right that people are attacking him and asking for him to be fired. So that's her whole response in the whole thing. Moving into our last segment of the day is probably the best one. I want to say it's CNN, and forgive me, everybody, they keep switching out reporters here. In the seats, there's different reporters for different news outlets that will show up. I imagine depending on their schedule. I'm pretty sure this is CNN. He's filling in for Matt Whittingley, I think is the guy's last name. But great question here, and has her fumbling, him going, I'm trying to get and understand why Joe Biden's not showing up in Ohio. She literally doesn't know what to say, you guys. She absolutely doesn't have a clue what to say. Let's go ahead and roll it.
Okay, good.
Just two questions. First of all, the president frequently visits the sites of many natural and man-made disasters, and this situation in East Palestine has clearly required a multi-agency response from the federal and the state level. So I guess I'm just struggling to understand why the president wouldn't go to East Palestine. Does it simply not meet the bar for a presidential visit?
Look, I want to be very clear here. There's no reason to struggle, I don't think, on this question. I think when you look at how the federal agencies have responded from day one and took...
She don't know what to say and how to respond to that question. That's the White House for you, folks. This is what happens when you have somebody running an office that doesn't have a clue. Like, who's his team? Who's his team going, Mr. President, make sure you go to Ukraine while this stuff's happening. Perfect time to fly over there. That's why there's losing support for Ukraine, by the way. Like as the long time, as the time that's increasing here of us funding them and giving them weapons and all this other stuff, the polls are going down. Americans have had enough of it. So we're funding them and not taking care of ourselves. We got enough to worry about here, let alone Zelensky begging and freaking demanding certain things, putting a freaking Ukrainian flag in Congress. That pissed me off, man. That really did. The American flag belongs here, not the Ukrainian flag.
This very seriously and reacted within hours of the derailment and was on the ground. This is the Environmental Protection Agency, as I was saying. They are the ones that deal with these types of
Still hasn't answered the question.
They're the one that are the leaders on this. And it didn't stop with the environmental. You're right there, buddy?
It's my family, but everyone's okay.
Down.
All right.
And it didn't stop. What I want to say is that it didn't stop with the Environmental Protection Agency. Again, FEMA,
Yeah,
CDC.
That's all different from a presidential position.
No, it's I want to be very clear here. I don't have anything to share on a presidential visit.
Because it's not in your binder. It's not in your binder.
That's
why she's looking down.
Or anything to announce, but it does matter that the president put forth a multi-agency kind of reaction to this, taking it seriously.
Showing up, right?
Look, showing up is having the Environmental Protection Administrator on the ground. Showing up is having the DOT Secretary on the ground to talk about what is the next process, holding to account the company that caused the spill. That's what you're seeing from Secretary Buttigieg today. Showing action is also seeing that HHS, CDC, FEMA, all of these guys are on the ground at the direction of this president. So that is taking this very seriously. When the president was in Poland, he took calls and called and reached.
You guys, they give the exact same messaging on everything. Everything that's literally a dumpster fire, they give the same messaging. Oh, well, let me be clear. Let me be serious. The president cares. It's his number one issue. He understands the American people and what they're going through and their struggles. You want to know the prime messaging that they use this on is immigration. Literally for 2 years, they keep saying, well, it's his number one issue. He's doing everything he can. It's a challenge. It isn't a crisis. We understand what they're going through down there in the border towns. We understand the effects they're having, the rise in crime, the fentanyl, and the drugs that are coming through. The violent gang members are sitting there harassing Americans down there. We understand what they're going through. The president is really on it. All the while, literally every month, he's breaking a new record, shattering a new record every month. And it's the same exact messaging you're hearing here. They don't have a clue how to govern. They don't have a clue on how to be president. They don't have a clue on how to be an administration that's actually for the American people. What they know how to do is spend your taxpayer dollars in the wrong areas and give them to somebody freaking else that doesn't actually know how to run the show here correctly. Meaning give our money fixing our railways, you lunatic Democrat Party. God, it drives you up a wall, right? I mean, hell, a banger of a show on a Friday, but it drives you up a wall. Just seeing this consistently from this party, and you got knuckleheads that are going, oh, he's doing everything right. He's getting it. He understands everybody. You MAGA supporters don't understand. He's doing everything he can. Ageism, racist, you bigots. I mean, it's amazing that there's still functioning people out there. I think Joe Biden is doing a good job. And it really makes you question on how much we can actually classify them as being functioning adults.
Reached out and got updates from his leadership in those agencies, and he continued to make sure that he was
while he was in Poland.
To to the governors of Pennsylvania and Ohio, Governor DeWine and Shapiro. That matters. That's what leadership looks like, and leadership matters as well. And that's what.
No, what leadership looks like is Donald Trump being there, giving people food, giving people water, asking questions, touring the sites, actually being a boot on the ground and showing that he cares about the American people, buying first responders, McDonald's and other food, making sure they're taken care of. No, that's a leader right there. Not a knucklehead in Poland taking care of their energy, not in freaking Zelensky's Ukrainian townhome doing whatever doing there. No. Donald Trump being there, number 45, that's a leader right there. Joe Biden is not a leader. Joe Biden is a nothing. Okay, he's a nothing. He hasn't done anything for us other than freaking increase our deficit, allow millions of people to pour across the border illegally, allow millions of pounds of fentanyl and other drug to pour across the border. Terrorists have literally come across our border. He allowed freaking Russia to invade Ukraine by not being hard on Russia. Now we're about to see the same thing from China and Taiwan because he's in the pocket of the Chinese. So what's next? What's next from this guy?
You're seeing, instead of political stunts that we're seeing from the other side. Look, You know, people have been talking about regulation and deregulation. One of the things,
Here we go.
You know,
got to blame it on somebody
we've been hearing
else.
from the other side. We've been hearing from the GOP about
Come on,
how
Kareem,
now
blame
they're
us.
interested. All of a sudden, they are interested in the safety of East Palestine when they have for years have been in lockstep with the retail lobby in lockstep, making
go.
sure that they think that the safety, they were stopping or repealing the common sense safety laws that would, help in this situation. I understand that it maybe we're waiting to see the investigation. Maybe it would have helped or not helped, but it doesn't.
Just make a huge accusation. Well, we're gonna wait till see if once the investigation actually comes out, if what I just said was true or not. This is a lady that literally won't answer any hypotheticals, but when it comes to bashing Republicans and giving them the middle finger and doing everything she can to make them look bad and put negatives on them, she'll freaking give hypotheticals left and right. She'll actually cite things that we don't even know to be true yet because they haven't done the investigation of what she just said.
What matters is there is real, true ways to create safety as it relates to rail, and they've been against that for years.
Blame
for
Republicans.
Years against
Yeah,
that. In the lockstep with rail lobbyists, and so there is a false comparison here, and we're just gonna have to call that out.
And just on the new asylum.
Just a false comparison. And we're gonna have to call that out. We're not going to call it the fact that Joe Biden's not there. We're not going to call it the fact that the guy's not doing his job. We're not going to call it the fact that he's in bed with the Chinese. We're not going to call it the fact that the Hunter Biden laptop's leading to massive amounts of probably embezzlement of money, allegedly. I mean, we're not going to call it anything the guy does because he does everything right. Joe Biden has not made a single mistake since he's been president. He's doing a fabulous job. According to Karine Jean-Pierre and the rest of the Democrat Party, he's an A+ president. So much so that he's literally going to run again. That's how great he is because they don't have a bench. They don't have anybody that's lined up other than Pete Buttigieg, who literally just destroyed his entire career because he couldn't show up to a small town to make sure that the people are okay and actually do his job correctly. But let me know what you guys think about this, you guys, because clearly it's all Republicans' fault, as you just heard from the White House press secretary. I want to know what you guys think about this. I wanted to give you a little bit of a longer show. Obviously, I love hanging out with y'all, but we didn't have a show the other day. Again, I work multiple jobs. I do get tired, folks. I try my best to make sure I get as many videos as I possibly can because I love doing it with y'all. Be on the lookout for the announcements this Sunday, folks. We're finally doing it. God, I've been waiting for this day for so long. 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Sunday. We're going live. Be in the chat, right? We're going to be there answering questions, showing you guys some stuff. If you want to get involved with us here at the Paul Brad Show, hit that like and subscribe button. We're going to have some goodies, some opportunities for you to, help us, support us. I keep saying us. It's just me, but I get you guys in with us, right? That's why I say us, because we're a true American patriots here that want to advance going against knuckleheads that are trying to destroy our country, meaning Democrat Party and the progressive left and Joe Biden. So hit that like and subscribe button. I will see you here on... Heck, I don't know what today is. What, Friday? So I will see you tomorrow for Supernatural Saturdays. We'll have part 2, hopefully, of Bob Lazar, unless I get copyrighted again. That's why the last Supernatural Saturday was a little bit late. We were waiting to make sure that copyright was lifted because we had the rights to use it. So we'll have a part 2 on that you guys asked for. And then Sunday, again, we're going to do a live stream here, releasing some things to you all. Again, hit that like and subscribe button, folks. I'll see you tomorrow here on Bob Brad Show.